Hello, everybody. We're
Hello.
live.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
Um, I'm good. I didn't really do anything other than speed read this book. So, yeah. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm nervous for this live show because I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also don't
I
know how you felt about the book. We have not talked
um
about it at all, so this will be
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. It will. Also, I really like your hoodie. I like the color of it.
Thank you. It's Louis Tomlinson.
Oh, stunning.
It's a size 3XL because that's all that they had left.
Nice and oversized.
Yes, it's like negative like 13 today or something. At least
Jeez.
it was the last time I checked.
I'm trying to see
Negative
what
10.
that is here.
Yeah,
Jeez.
so I'm trying to be comfy. I asked for a 2XL because the guy said they had 2XLs.
Mhm.
Because I was like, what sizes do you have? Like, I need this sweater. But then he ended up giving me a 3XL and we didn't notice. We were already like out of line.
Oh, yeah.
So here we are. But this guy, he knew. Okay, he knew. I love how we're already off topic.
Mhm.
But my mom's like, can we just see the 2XL? She wants to see what it looks like up against her, right? And he
Mhm.
was like, from my experience, these girls are gonna buy it no matter what. And he's like, it does not matter what size it is, they're gonna buy it. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, sir, you're so right. Give
You're
it to
so
me.
right.
I will spend the
Just hand it
$90 to
over.
have this huge sweater for me. Yes,
Yeah,
thank
well, at
you.
least it's nice and comfy.
It is. It really is. It's like a huge dress, and it's just
Amazing.
like it's rolled up twice. It's amazing.
And it's still big. Wow. Oh, how cute. I love a good oversized hoodie.
Yes. But anyways, the Spanish Love Deception. You don't have a physical copy, but look at that. Um, yeah. So what are your general
Lisa!
thoughts? Lisa, I was really hoping she was gonna come because she loves this book.
Hi!
Lisa, hi bestie,
Hi!
bestie Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your overall thoughts on this book here?
I thought it was just okay. I didn't hate it, but like I didn't like love it at the same time. It was just like right in the middle.
Mm.
Yeah. What were yours?
I'm conflicted.
Yeah.
Like I did really enjoy it. Um, it's been weeks since I've read it, so Memory of a Goldfish. I have no idea. Um,
Yeah.
you know what, Lisa? I read this weeks ago, and already I remember nothing. So if you remember anything, you are stronger than I. So
Yeah. And I just finished it today, so I don't really have like coherent thoughts like going up in my brain because I literally just finished it like 10 minutes before we were supposed to start the live
yeah,
show.
this is why we postponed it because she wasn't done.
Yeah. I was like, Brittany, please, I need more time.
Which is good because I was not ready for two anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like the romance, I liked it. I think the pacing
Mm-hmm.
really affected things for me.
Yes. Yeah, the pacing is what got me because I was expecting it to just like kind of like jump into the wedding right away because it started out with her like talking about how she needed a date. And then
Yeah,
we didn't even get to the wedding until like 60-ish% through.
it was
And I,
definitely over halfway. It was
yeah, I was like,
crazy.
and then we didn't even like experience the wedding for that long either. Like,
Hmm.
I don't even. I think I read over when the wedding happened because I was just reading it so fast that like my brain didn't process that it was the wedding. Because then next thing I knew, they were on the plane going home. I was like, wait, but what about the wedding? And I was like, oh wait.
Yeah, I do
So,
think that some book descriptions do the books a disservice, and most of the
mm-hmm.
time it's not the author writing
Yeah.
the description. Like sometimes like publishers will like take things from like the original pitch or like whatever. But most of
Mm-hmm.
the times it's not the author's fully writing the
Yeah.
synopsis. So I feel like it should have mentioned something about her also needing to help Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like curious going into it, especially like, with the beginning scene of him just being like, "I'll go to the wedding with you."
Yeah.
Like there has to be something in it for him. Like obviously
Mm-hmm.
he's in love with her, like duh. But like
Yeah. Obviously.
surely there's something else in it for him.
Yeah.
So I wish that was just kind of mentioned, and I also kind of wish it
Mm-hmm.
didn't take as long.
Yes. Because
Yeah,
there was like a lot of like office stuff too that I wasn't expecting.
yeah. I
Which
feel like
like I
that
wasn't like
was
okay with, but it was just like a lot more than I was wanting.
yeah. I feel like it was a bit unnecessary. Again, memory of a goldfish. Like I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
specifics of anything. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted to love this book a lot more than I did.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying I didn't love it, because I really, really did. Like, I sped through that last half of it real fast. I really enjoyed it. But I also feel like this did fall into the hype problem. I don't know what I'm trying to say there.
Yes.
This book was so overhyped.
Yeah.
And I did go into it knowing that, and knowing that, like, you know, it's really hyped by a handful of people, and it might not be for everyone. But I was confident, because I was like, it's fake dating.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite trope. And that, like, was my favorite part.
Yeah.
But I do think it fell into that hype a little bit, because everyone was like, Aaron Blackford is the blueprint. He is the best love interest I've ever read. And I don't agree. Like, he's great. I love him a lot. I've like no faults with him, really, at least from what I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he's my absolute favorite love interest that I've ever read.
Oh. Yeah.
Not Lisa B. Like,
I know. She said that like right before you're like, he's the blueprint. I was like, oh no.
I'm so sorry, bestie Lisa. He's really good. And I wish that I had tapped this or something, so I could at least like go back and look through like moments, because I genuinely don't remember. Ooh, I did just open up to a page though, and like something that I love about like fake dating, or like just like situations where like the guy has just obviously been in love with her the whole time. Like, they're like, I don't want to kiss you like this, or like, this is not how I pictured it.
Oh,
or,
yes.
Like, if you were really mine, I would do this all the time. Or like, that's the page I just opened up to. So like, that I did really enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's bad. I love him. It's just, maybe it's because I've read so many really great romance books. It just like, he just feels like all of the other ones almost.
Yeah.
Question mark? I don't know. Okay, here's her defending. He's really not the blueprint. I also read it right before it started getting super hyped, and also was very sad. I love the capital letters there. So it just did what it needed to do for me in the moment. I do really think that there is something to be said about reading books at the exact perfect moment that you need it. Like, I believe that all of our favorite books are our favorite books because we read them just at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that like if I were to like reread a favorite book for the very first time now, it might not hit the same. Like The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I adore that book with every fiber of my being. I know that it has its faults. The love interest can be a little creepy near the end. But it was like one of the very first romance books that I ever read. And I feel like I was just ready to enter my romance girly era. But it did what it needed to do, you know?
It served its purpose.
See, here we go. This was also one of the first romance books I read. So I do think that the first ones are very, very important.
Yeah, because after a while, it just like they all just kind of seem to like follow like the same pattern, and like you can just like see like the same things happening, I guess. So it doesn't feel like as special, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know.
Honestly,
I know
I've
there's
read
like
a couple.
differences.
Yeah, I read a couple of fake dating books recently that just like haven't fully hit for me. Like this one, it did hit. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed it. The fake dating was cute. But I also read like a YA book recently that I still also really enjoyed, but like the fake dating just like didn't fully give that punch that it normally does for me. Having a bit of a crisis about it, not gonna lie. It's still my favorite book. And I've been discovering, side note, I've been looking at some books on my shelf and discovering that they're fake dating, and I had no idea. Like, I've just completely like blocked that from my memory. So like, I've got some good fake dating books on my shelf that I'm excited about now. Or like I was talking about in my favorite books of the year video that like rivals to lovers I've discovered as a favorite trope, and I discovered that like I've got some more rivals to lovers on my shelf. Like, I had no idea. And like
rivals to lovers slaps.
And like Secret Identities is also like something that I love. So like particularly like when they're talking online, but they also know each other in real life, and like love the vibes, and they don't like necessarily like each other in real life. So there's like this contradiction happening. Oh, so discovered that there's a book on my shelf with that.
Oh, amazing! You have like, so many good options.
And it's a rivals to lovers, and it's Secret. Thought that has to do with fandom. I'm so excited. Let me grab it. This is completely off topic, but Shipped by Meredith Tate. I've had this book.
Oh, that is such a cute cover too.
Right. I've had this book since 2021 because she was a mentor and author mentor match. So I bought it and then like completely just forgot what it was about. I'm so excited.
Me just adding it on Goodreads right now, please.
Oh my god, do it. I'm so excited. I think I'm gonna read it next month. I'm just beyond excited about it.
Oh.
Yeah. So at least, you know, Lisa agrees that the pacing is weird.
Yeah, it was a bit wonky.
I just think that some romance books do need to be this long, and I think it's really nice to get to spend that much time with the main couple. I think this one did not need to be this long.
Yeah, because it felt like there was just so much filler too. Like,
yeah, like I honestly don't remember how it ends. How does it end?
It's in the drawer under the microwave. Yeah. Sorry, they're looking for something.
Yeah, how does the book end? I don't remember. I kind of remember the epilogue. I'm looking at it right now. I like how we're just like blank. We have no idea what's going on. You're also muted, so that's fun too. The self-published version was longer. Oh no. That's crazy.
Wait, there was a self-published version of this?
Yeah, it was self-published first, and then it got picked up by a publisher because it was popular.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because I remember I got this from Value Village. I remember I had to like look at it to make sure it was like the traditionally published one. So I was like, I don't know what's going on.
What did the cover look like for the self-published one?
I think it was the same, wasn't it?
Oh,
I think it was the same.
No. Wow, the more you know.
Lisa, confirm or deny? I think it was the same.
The Spanish love.
Okay, so sorry, but I think another 50 pages should have been cut. I don't think it was enough.
Jeez.
I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it.
Might have been the same color.
I enjoyed it all the same. Yeah, Lisa said so.
Oh yeah, that's what Google was telling me.
It just means that like the publisher was like, this cover is so iconic that we just have to keep it.
Mm-hmm. And isn't she has another one, the Roommate Experiment? Is that what it's called?
I literally bought it yesterday.
They have the similar cover vibes.
Roommate Experiment. So I bought this yesterday because I went to the mall with my mom. I was telling Lisa about it. And we went to Winners. Okay, we never go to Winners. My mom hates Winners. But we went in because she wanted to look for like these Disney earrings that she kept seeing on TikTok. Oh. And so we went in and she's like, did you want to look at anything while we're here? And I was like, I'm not going to say no to the little book aisle. So we went and they actually did have the Spanish Love Deception. I'm like, oh, how cute. I own this already though. So like whatever.
Yeah.
Looking at the books, they had like Tessa Bailey. Like they tend to have like a little cute romance section. But then we went to one of the end caps and they had like a little clearance section, like a discounted section. And this was there. And I was like, hold up. $13.
Wow.
$13. Like the Spanish Love Deception in stores was $25. So I was like, if there's a time where I'm gonna buy this, it is going to.
Yeah, it's now.
Like it was a little bit damaged, but like I'm just being anal about it. It's like a little scuffed up at the bottom. There's like some residue stuff in the corner. There's like a weird crease in the spine. But you know what? This copy is in way worse condition. Like there's an actual crease in the spine, which I hate. But like, I bought it for $5 at Valley Village. Like I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. This one's about Rosie, so her friend.
Oh, Rosie, I love her.
Mm-hmm. Which I didn't realize. Like I knew that they were connected. Like I wasn't thinking about it, but like totally it's Rosie. And I know that Lisa does not like this one as much as the Spanish Love Deception, so maybe I will like it more.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be some like reverse thing going on here. Oh god, it's blurred by Christina Lauren. Hello, my loves.
Fun.
And Jodi Picoult. I haven't read anything by Jodi Picoult, but Ali Hazelwood.
Oh, I still have yet to read anything by Ali Hazelwood.
I might do a video where I read a bunch of Ali Hazelwood because I've only read The Love Hypothesis. And then like I read that like a while like after being out. And so she already had all these other books out.
Yeah, she has.
And I got overwhelmed. I'm like, she's just publishing things like hotcakes, and I can't keep up. So
yeah, that would be a fun video.
I might do a video.
Did you like the one you read?
Love Hypothesis. I have a reading blog for it.
I think I remember watching it now that I asked. sparked a memory.
I was talking to Lisa about this because we were talking. Let me see if I can find it. We were talking about this because I wanted to be nice and update her that I'd read it because I know how much she loves it. Wanted to give her a heads up before the live show.
Hey, just letting you know I finished it.
Oh, which means I can look at some of my initial reactions. This is good. This is good.
Yay!
Yeah, some of the dialogue was a bit cringy, especially during the steamy scenes.
Yes. No, I was literally laughing out loud, and I got up and I showed Deb. I'm just like, look at this.
Yeah, which led us to talking about the love hypothesis. But thank you, Lisa, for sending me this text because there's a line about like milking her.
Yep, that's what got me. I couldn't stop laughing.
No. But then I was like, I would be a hypocrite if I enjoyed the love hypothesis with all that weird dialogue and not this.
Yeah.
Because there's like so many times in that book she talks about like the size difference. Like how she's so small and he's like this hulking big dude.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about it.
Like how big his hands are. And I'm like, every time she talks about how big his hands are, all I can think of is like Shrek.
Not Shrek.
So I put like a Shrek meme in the video when I talked about that. I was like, all I can picture is like Shrek's like sausage fingers. Like I can't do this. And just like imagining, okay, I'm not gonna, no.
Nope.
You use your imagination. Yeah, I just like imagine sitting there at your computer and just typing that sentence out and being like, yeah, that's a keeper. And then imagine self-publishing it. Great. And then imagine getting picked up by a publisher and all of the multiple editors that have to go through it are also like, you know what? Yeah, this hits. This is peak romance. Like,
the epitome of romance.
Oh my god, I hate it. Secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say. That was my first thought, and I couldn't get it out of my head, so I had to make everybody else see what I saw.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That Shrek's in our brain.
But I did like the love hypothesis. I thought it was cute. Is there anxiety rep in that book, or am I making that up?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh goodness, I have no idea. That one's also fake dating, I believe. Yeah, because she has to does something. She has to she kisses the first guy she sees to like convince somebody that she's dating them. I don't fucking know, but I believe it's fake dating. Yeah, it was good. It was just really cringy. So like, if you do decide to read it, just know. I don't know how her other books are, but just know.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep it in mind.
And I'm so sorry to anybody who now decides to read that book and just has Shrek in their mind.
Yeah, you just put that image in there.
I
did notice though that in this book too, she did like talk about like size a lot.
I do feel like that is a thing that people do, and you know what? I don't mind it all the time. It's just when it gets a little excessive. And I think it was a little excessive mainly in the love hypothesis, but that's neither here nor there. I do think that I feel like he called her a name really often and it pissed me off. Baby. He called her baby excessively. And I'm like, if this was any other pet name, I would be on board. If he called her love, called her darling.
Oh, love, darling.
I would be way here for it. Because like, I love Shatter Me. And Warner basically only ever calls her love or like sweetheart. And it's my favorite thing in the world. Like, I'm annotating the back half of the series right now. And I'm circling like every single mention of love or like sweetheart. It's so cute.
I love that.
But baby, it doesn't sit right with me. I've never liked it. If it's used a couple of times, like I particularly enjoy the use of that pet name when like one of the characters is hurt. Like something traumatic has happened to them. They're hurt, they're scared, they're sad, and they're like, baby, what's wrong? Like, please tell me what's wrong. Share this with me. Like, I love that kind of moment. Yeah, but if it's just used excessively and like in the sex scenes, I don't like it. What's the with the word baby? I don't get it.
The one that gets me the most is Babe. That one like drives me up the wall. I don't know what it is about it, but like I can't stand that one. Like
I don't like either.
It's just...
I can take it in moderation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
is
that the right word? He went a little hard.
Yeah, with it.
I thought because like Lisa read a book recently, I think, and they used the word darling too much. The baby doesn't bother you, Lisa? I hate it. I would take doubling over baby any day. Like, I don't even care if it's on every page. Like, I will take it over baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's just something that, like, authors are obsessed with, where it's just like, oh, like, I don't know, it's just like a dynamic that they're obsessed with. I like the idea of it. And to be fair, like, I'm really small, so I can understand, like, if the author is also, like, really short and really small.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need to make the love interest super huge, because I'm sorry, I'm 5'3", and I would simply perish if I had to date somebody over 6 feet.
No, it's crazy. Like,
because like my uncle is 6 feet, right? And I feel like a tiny little child whenever I'm standing next to him, and I cannot imagine that in like a romantic situation, like being so small compared to them. Like I feel like this the entire time.
And how would you even take pictures too? Because like it would be like this difference.
But I've got a bad neck. I cannot do this. Like my neck has been cracking since I was a wee thing. Can't do this.
Little lads.
But like, oh my god, do you know Rosanna Pansino?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god, so she's like this baking YouTuber. And I swear to god, she's like 4'11" or something. She's petite. Okay, and her boyfriend is over 6 feet, and it's so funny to me when they look ridiculous. I'm like, how do you do anything? Like, you are this tiny little human. Like, she's not even just like short. Like, she is tiny. I'm like, how?
Yeah, how does that even like work?
Oh, not at also being by Elena Armas.
Oh. I guess she just has a thing for like overusing pet names like that.
I guess. Have you ever reread The Spanish Love Deception, Lisa? I'd love to know. Because I know that like Chloe Bunny, that's her channel name now, right? Chloe Bunny. She loves this book and she's reread it multiple times. She like gets all giggly, like kicking the feet. And I love that for her, you know? It just was not fully me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the pacing is just what like knocked it off. Like I feel like I would have liked it so much more if it was different.
I think if we started the book, right, with if it started with the description talking about Aaron's deal. And then if it started with, you know, him saying like, I'll be your date, whatever, her being like a little bit hesitant about it, but ultimately like I wish she just took a bit faster to be like, okay, fine, like I'm desperate, I need this. But she was just so stubborn about it. So that took a long time. Just like in the initial like first chapter, I'm like, okay, we get it. Like you don't like him.
Yeah, that's what kind of like threw me off too, is because she was like literally, it felt like very like middle school, I guess, because Aaron was behind her, Rosie was in front of her. She was telling Rosie to tell Aaron things. I'm like, okay, we're adults and this is a work setting.
And I'm like, you're opening the book like that. So if that was handled a bit better. And then I did enjoy the whole like auction thing. I thought it was fun, especially when he was on stage and like the Catalina was bidding on like this old man because she felt bad and like it was just like an automatic thing. And then like she almost like spent all of Aaron's money on this old man, and she like made contact with Aaron being like, I'm so sorry, and he was just like almost laughing. I did enjoy that. So I enjoyed that scene. I just kind of wish we got to it faster. I wish it ended a bit faster. And like even after that, I feel like if I'm remembering correctly, there was still a lot of time before they went to the wedding. And I think considering this whole book, like the little literal tagline on the back is a wedding in Spain. So I'm like, I feel like more of this book should have taken place in Spain. Like I would have liked to see them do more things around Spain, see more landmarks of Spain, see her like show him around and like see them bond that way instead of bonding in their boring office space.
Yep, agreed.
You know, although I did like the scene where she was talking to her mom. Then Aaron like took the phone or something, or there was a part where Aaron was talking to her mom on the phone, and I liked that. I thought that was cute. Yeah, you needed to prepare me better for this, Lisa. Really, this is all your fault. Like, it's all your fault.
Oh yeah, the soccer game in Spain kind of slapped. That was that was a good one.
Yeah, I just wish like descriptions were more accurate to what's going on in the actual book, because I feel like sometimes it's like our own expectations and our own ideas of what a book is that come out of like nowhere. Like we just have these preconceived notions about a book. And there have been times like Josh and Hazel, almost every time I want to say that book title, I say Josh and Hazel's.
Hazels.
don't know why. Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. For some reason, for years, have been under the assumption that they've been friends their entire lives, like best friends their entire lives.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say anything about that on the book description. Like, it just says that they're friends, right? And they become friends at the very beginning of the book. And they, like, knew each other in college, but they, like, met up again because she's best friends with his sister, and she didn't know that, and they met at an event. But I was under the assumption, just from my own dumb brain, that they'd been friends since they were children. So I started the book, and I'm like, oh, what? I'm like, they haven't been friends for like 20 years? And that was no one's fault but my own, because the description said nothing about that. This was misleading. This was not my brain. Yeah. It's not my pea brain's fault.
I'm surprised that, like, I feel like I haven't really seen that many people talking about that either. That, like, the wedding's not that big of a deal.
I mean, I also feel like I haven't heard anyone talk about this book in a long while. Like, I feel like the hype has died down. I feel like this was very much so in, like, 2020. When did this book come out? 2021? When did this book come out? 2021. Okay, but this paperback edition, so I'm assuming the published one came out 2022. So I'm assuming that means that it was self-published in 2021. Like, back then, like, it was huge on TikTok. I'm assuming that's how it got traditionally published. And so everyone was talking about it. Chloe was talking about it a lot. And I feel like people have just, like, moved on to other things now. So I feel like I'm late to the game, but I'm still glad that I read it when I did. But maybe people were talking about it back then, and I just don't remember. Maybe I need to, like, go back and rewatch Chloe's videos talking about this book.
Yeah, because I don't even have, like, a clear, like, I don't even remember what she said about it.
Yeah, I just, like, have, like, one vivid, like, clip in my brain where she was, like, video chatting with Caitlin,
I think.
Yeah. And she was just, like, freaking out and being, like, exactly, and, like, being really excited about it. Yeah, like, it's good. I don't know. Like, if I want to read a fake dating adult romance out of the ones that, like, I've already read, like, I'm picking up Take a Hint, Danny Brown. You know, that book hit. Have you read any of the Brown sister books?
I started the first one, but I never finished it. And, like, I don't know why I didn't finish it, because I was actually, like, really enjoying it. I just put it down for a different book and just never picked it back up.
You need to read it.
Yeah.
You need to read it. When I was first reading it, because I was also one of the first romance books I read, I wasn't loving, like, the beginning of it, like, the writing style. And then I just, like, completely fell into it, and it, like, captured my entire soul, and I, like, read it that day. Which was the same thing that happened with the Hating Game, actually. I hated the writing style at the beginning, and I was like, oh, no. But now I'm, like, obsessed with it. It's my favorite.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love romance books. Anyways, I'm glad that I finally read this, because now I don't have to wonder anymore. But it's not something that I love as much as I thought I would, because I literally held off creating my favorite books of the year list. Like, I had, like, all my other books ready. I had my honorable mentions ready, and I was saving a spot in case this book was going to make it, because I think this was my last read of the year. And I was saving a spot. Like, I didn't film the video. I didn't do anything. I didn't finish my bullet journal spreads. I was waiting. And then I read this, and I was like, oh, it is not an ultimate favorite. So I had to pick one of my honorable mentions
to move up.
Yeah. So I ended up putting Josh and Hazel. Jesus Christ. But honestly, I feel like I could have put any of my honorable mentions there. Like, I'm kind of wishing I put The Odds there, or, like, I don't know. But it was just, like, I think it's because I just read Josh and Hazel in, hey, I said it right, in December, that it was, like, top of my mind.
Yeah.
It is so tragic. I'm trying to think of, like, when other books did that for me, but nothing was coming to mind.
I try to not. Like, I feel like I've had that happen before. I don't remember which book.
Yeah.
What was it? I feel like it was recent. Like, kind of recent. But, like, since then, I've tried to just not, like, I listen to the hype, but I'm like, okay, but, like, maybe I won't love it, so I try not to, like, take it to heart too much, but, like, sometimes it still gets me. Oh, it was with Flower Heart. I remember.
See, that was just our own one. I didn't think that book was hyped, because I only knew about it because I got an arc of it.
Yeah.
But maybe it was just the hype that I gave you, because it looked like the perfect Alyssa book.
Probably. Yeah.
My bad. I take responsibility. So I had no right recommending that to you, and I did not read it. But maybe it's a blessing in disguise that I read a lot of YA, or I read a lot of books from authors that I already love, that the hype doesn't really become a huge issue for me most of the time. Like, I feel like nobody, maybe I'm just not finding the right channels, maybe YouTube is not recommending me the right channels, but I cannot find anybody who talks about YA contemporary romances anymore. Nobody talks about them. And like almost my whole like favorites list was like a bunch of YA. And I'm like, nobody talks about it anymore.
Well, hopefully that will bring in like people like who also like have those channels, you know, because maybe you're not the only one that feels that way. Like maybe just YA contemporary is just like so like isolated, I guess.
I think it's because a lot of people on BookTube now have come from TikTok. Whether they make TikTok videos or they just consume a lot of like book talk. They're heavily influenced by the books that are popular over there. And so they bring that popularity over to BookTube. So I feel like it's very oversaturated with romance books, adult ones, and fantasy books, whether that's adult or YA. And I feel like because they're mainly reading adult books, and they are adults, like that's fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like when they do, on the off chance, read a YA book, and it's usually a fantasy one, they get annoyed that it reads like YA. And
yeah, but like the characters young.
I know. So I feel like maybe it's a blessing that they're not reading these YA contemporaries, because I feel like with it being like a real life scenario that maybe they would get more annoyed. Because like I know that's why my friend Lorena never reads YA contemporaries. Like it has to take something super special like Love, Simon for her to enjoy a YA contemporary, because she just gets so annoyed. And like fair enough, right? Like she was even like that when we were in high school. So like when we were the target demographic. So like I get it. I just like I love the messiness of teenagers, and I like not in real life. Teenagers scare me sometimes.
Yes,
but
I'm
like
terrified of teenagers.
I was scared of teenagers when I was a teenager. Okay,
and it's even worse now.
Okay, you know what? So sorry. Taking a break from Spanish Love Deception because I just have to rant about this. This has been bothering me so much recently. Like people in their mid to late 20s or in their 30s reading teen books for teens, about teens, and getting mad that there's like no spicy scenes in them. And I'm like, ma'am,
it has no place being in there.
Like, one, why do you as an adult want to read about teens having explicit sex? That's creepy. On the other hand, why do you also want these adult writers writing teens having explicit sex for you as an adult to then read these teens having explicit sex? It's messy all around. Like, I do not mind teens having sex in books, okay, if it's like a fade to black situation, because teens do have sex. So, like, it makes sense to me. And I want the teens who are actually reading these books to be able to see, like, a safe, healthy situation portrayed, right? But that's not what I'm reading it for. Like, I want the innocent little kisses, and I want like the little flirtations, and that's it. Like, I want to like reminisce about like how I wish my high school years were, basically. Right? It's the same thing as like you know when you are a teen and you're reading YA and you have all these book boyfriends.
Yes.
Once you turn a specific age, those are no longer your book boyfriends.
Nope.
Right? And I haven't seen anyone talk about this, so like I'm not like pointing fingers at anybody for saying this. It's just like something I've been thinking of. But it's like you have to shift your mindset. So like I read, what's a YA book that I read? Like The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. Okay, Clark was a huge book boyfriend for me. And like I think he's like 19 or something in that book, so like it's not the worst that it could be, because I'm only 23, but like still, like I don't want to touch a 19-year-old, like that's disgusting. Anything that has teen in it, stay away from me. But like when I was like turning 20, or like I'm like, okay, I need to start shifting. Like he's no longer my book boyfriend. He's just like a cute little guy, and like
he's just a little guy.
He's now a fave love interest, not a book boyfriend. Like there's now a distinction. Whereas like if I wanted to, Aaron Blackford, you are a book boyfriend. If I like felt like that, I felt that way. I don't know. I'm just feeling a lot of feelings recently about YA and about how people portray or like feel about YA. Because I also watched a vlog recently. I'm not gonna say who it was because I honestly don't remember what their channel was called. But she was reading Shatter Me. She was reading the 4th book, and she was really annoyed at Juliet and how Juliet was reacting. And I know you haven't read all of Shatter Me, and I don't think Lisa has either. But Juliet has gone through a lot of trauma. Okay, and I was so mad about this, I was sending you voice notes because I couldn't even type. I was so angry. But like she was getting annoyed at Juliet for like this relationship drama that she was going through. But I'm like, listen, you need to like look at her history. Like she is this like majorly traumatized person, and she's learning all this stuff about her life that is now making her an even more traumatized person than she ever knew. Right, like her like discovering all these secrets about her life that she didn't know, right, but that somebody she cared about knew. And she feels betrayed. She feels like she can't trust anybody, and I feel like that's a very normal thing to feel. And she's also 17, and she was stuck in an asylum for over a year. She's been isolated her entire life. She doesn't have the life experiences to know how to deal with these things. But then take away all of that, like she's still just a 17-year-old girl. And that can be a very highly emotional time. And what really bothered me was this YouTuber was just like, I'm tired of this high school drama. And I'm like, it's YA. Like, there is no universe where this is not YA.
Yeah.
This. So Lisa said there's also the issue where now a lot of YA, especially YA fantasy, is being targeted towards an older audience, so people don't like it when it's actually written for teens. Or it's where like things like ACOTAR were originally targeted towards teens, right? Which I feel like ACOTAR, the first book, I feel like that was okay for teen audiences. I feel like there might have been like a little bit of a steamy, sexy, but definitely wasn't anything like ACOMAF.
No, ACOMAF is like wild.
So I feel like the first book was like fine, and I understand maybe they didn't know how far Sarah J. Maas was gonna take it. But now that's being marketed towards adults, and so I feel like a lot of people still kind of view that as YA because it was originally marketed that way, and so they expect that to be the baseline for every other YA that they read. Because I did hear about a review recently about a certain YA book, and the 30-year-old woman was mad that it didn't have ACOTAR level like spice scenes. I'm like, this is like about 15-year-olds. Like, what are you doing? Or like people like leaving like 1-star reviews being like, this reads very young, like for 15-year-olds. And I'm like, that's literally who it's marketed for. YA is like from what, like 13, 14 to like 18. Like that's like a wide range of like ages. Like you just need to find the right ones for you. Like maybe on the slightly older side, but like still. YA is for teens. Right? And like it's always been my favorite age category, and like contemporaries, whatever, it's been my favorite since I was a teen, even before I was a teen. Okay, I was like, 10, reading like The Last Song and like Nicholas Sparks. Like that's just I'm that kind of girly. And when you are now an adult reading those books, you have to adjust your expectations, and you have to adjust yourself. Like, it's again the right mindset for it. Like when I'm reading an adult book, I'm in the mindset of, okay, there's probably going to be some steamy scenes, more adult problems. I'm ready for that, right? When I'm reading YA, I need to prepare for, petty high school drama, silly relationships, first love. It's going to be messy. It's going to be more innocent. It's going to be cute. And then middle grade is a whole different conversation. Like you need to be ready for the silly and the goofy and the cute. Like it's going to be very, very different. Like I can't go into a middle grade book expecting like a teen romance because I'm like, they're children. You know, like it's about first crushes, and like that's what I love about The Chance to Fly so much. Oh my god, it's so good. So good. Yeah. Anyways, that was my rant about YA books for the day. And I just feel like more people should read and appreciate some YA contemporaries because there have been some exceptionally good ones published in the last few years and are continuing to be published. And if you want some recommendations, I just posted my favorite books of the year video where I talk about quite a few. A couple of them are right behind me displayed because I love these books so much. Excuse me while I ugly cry. Excuse me.
Amazing.
Read that a year ago together.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's still like one of my favorite things to ever happen. Is a starting off the year like that.
It was so magical. Yes, much applause. And you said some beautiful words.
Just very passionate right now. And also like maybe if I didn't write YA, maybe I wouldn't still be reading it as often as I do. But, like, when I want to be that kind of author, like, I need to keep reading those books and need to keep putting myself in that mindset. I don't know. I also feel like a lot of adults just forget what it feels like to be a teenager and forget what it feels like to be a kid. And, like, that is such a messy time. And that, while some people might hate that about YA, and, like, that's the reason for not enjoying it and not wanting to engage with it, that's why I love it.
Yeah.
I'm getting, like, out of breath because I'm so heated right now. But, like, the reason I love YA is because it's messy. Teenagers' emotions are big, and they feel everything, and everything feels like it's the end of the world. It's life or death. And I remember feeling that way. And I also, maybe it's because I'm so in tune with my emotions from when I was a teenager, because I have journals from literally when I was 10 to the current day. And I can go back at these journals and see exactly how I was speaking when I was that age. Right. And I even have, like, there were some times where I was, like, going through some shit, and I would write, like, exact text messages out in my journals so that I would, like, always remember, like, how conversations went. So like, I can actually see exactly how I was talking to people at that age. And I'm like, this is not that different. Like, people in, like, YA books are even more mature than, like, we actually are as teenagers.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's been times where I read books where, like, teens handled, like, a situation that if, like, it would have happened to me, it would have gone a whole different way, but, like, they like, I don't know, they're just built different.
I also think that maybe I'd be less mad if these people who were reading YA and getting annoyed at it for feeling YA would, like, actually verbally acknowledge that, like, I'm not the demographic for this book. So maybe that's going into my feelings about it, or just acknowledging that in some way. Because if I'm not connecting with how something's happening in a YA, I feel like I do mention, like, I'm not the, like, demographic for this, so I need to acknowledge that. I need to acknowledge that this was not written for me, with me in mind, and it shouldn't be. Like, teen books should be written with teens in mind and things that teens are dealing with and teens are going through. I feel so passionate about this. Yeah, you need to adjust your expectations. Like,
yeah, because life when you're a teenager is so different compared to, like, how it is when you're, like, an adult. So, like, obviously the situations are going to be different. They're going to feel different. Like, it's just,
and high school is also, like, its own universe. Like,
for real. High
high
school is just
school,
its own thing.
yeah.
Nothing
So, like,
compares to that.
yeah. I don't know. I've been getting really angry about it recently, and just knowing that, like, I can't find channels, and like I said, I haven't, like, looked that hard, but, like, the ones that YouTube are recommending to me, none of them are talking about YA contemporaries. I think it's just been making me upset because I'm like, I don't even have people that, like, I can turn to who do read these things and know these things while they're reading them, that I can, like, connect with. I'm just seeing all these people who aren't reading these books but read some of them and then don't connect to them because they're not teens and they don't realize that.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Like, I would make a video just talking about YA contemporaries for hours, but nobody would watch it. It would not get a single view. Well, we get a couple, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't reach the audience that I would want it to reach, and, like, it wouldn't convince anybody to read YA. I just love YA with my entire heart. It's my favorite age category.
Well, because YA is, like, usually when, like, a lot of people, like, really fall in love with reading because they can, like, they see themselves in stories and, like, they feel that connection. Like, you do in middle grade, but, like, I feel like sometimes it doesn't, like, click as much, if that makes sense. So, like, when you're young, like, you're a teenager discovering books, like, it's just, like, it's so powerful. Like,
And, like, even when I was, like, 10, 11, I was reading YA. I was reading Twilight. I was reading The Hunger Games. I was reading, The Last Song. Like, I was reading these YA books. And I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of younger kids are, like, instead of reading YA when they're the YA age, they're reading adult books. Because, like, not my cousin on blast. My cousin on blast, she just turned 19 yesterday. But she was looking at my shelves, and she was over one day, and she saw A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone, right? A book about an adult movie star who accidentally gets cast in a Christmas Hallmark movie. But she was like, oh, I almost bought that book from my friend a while ago, like a year or two prior, so they would have been, like, 17, right? And I was like, do you know what that book is about? And she was like, not a clue. It's like, it's about like a porn star. And she's like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't buy it. Then that would have been awkward. And I was like,
Yeah.
but she's on Book Talk. And so I'm like, that's the books that she's primarily being exposed to. And I'm like, my cousin does read YA, and I love her for that. Like, she's been around me a lot, so she's read Morgan Matson, and she's read like the Lunar Chronicles, and like she has read a lot of YA. But I'm like, not a Merry Little Me cute.
Yeah.
Like, she's at the age now where like, do what you want, whatever. But like, I mean, to be fair, I was reading Akamath, which, to be fair, was marketed to YA.
Yeah.
I was reading that when I was like 15. So.
Me too.
I also accidentally read an erotica book when I was also like 15. Oh, my bad. It was because it was by Kelly Armstrong, and she was like my favorite teen writer at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got it from Valley Village, and I didn't see that it said erotic fantasy on the cover. And I was reading it, and I'm like, why is she giving him a blowjob in the forest? I'm like, what's going on?
What is this?
I was like showing it to my friend. I was like, what's going on? I was like, if I have to read this up to you, what's happening? One of the things like my friend Aaliyah remembers the most. I'm like, what's happening? And it's like, it's funny because like before I realized that it was also like a TV show for like a season or something, and I had asked my dad to get me the TV show so I could watch it, not realizing what the book was. I hadn't read it yet, and I'm just glad that I watched that show around my dad. Like, I didn't finish the show. I watched like one episode, but I'm just glad like I didn't try watching that with him, because
he would have turned it off immediately and been like, what are you watching?
I hope that this is in response to the accidental erotica, because it was a time. I was reading this in school, like in class.
I bet that was scary. You're just like,
if like that cliche movie thing happened where like they see, like teachers see someone like reading something in class or like reading a note and then they read it to the class. That would have been... Imagine if that happened and I'm reading this fucking erotic fantasy where like she's literally giving a blowjob to this like werewolf.
No.
No, thank you. Life would have ended. I would have run out of there and been like, never see my face again. Like, they think I'm so smart because I'm like reading these like books during class. Oh, she's such a bookworm. That's what I'm reading. Like, I literally won biggest bookworm in grade 12. Like, I mean, I was on yearbook and I purposely put that category in the thing so that, because I knew that I would win and I wanted to be in the yearbook. Although it was between me and this one other person, like it was like neck and neck. And thankfully my class knew me really well and picked me. I'm like, people, like, because I also went through all the votes, right? And I could see who were writing these down. And like, I'm like, I've never talked to you in my life. So like, this is like, I've done my job so well. But like, everyone who doesn't even know me knows that I'm like a book lover. I'm like, iconic. And it's funny because like there was a guy in my class that I had known since I was 5. And like we were filling out these ballots in like English class, and he was sitting like across from me, and he like glances at the list and just blurts out, "Well, I know who I'm putting for biggest bookworm." I was like, he's like, "I've never seen Brittany without a book in her hand." Like,
that's so
yeah, but unfortunately, he was there for my entire Twilight phase. So.
Oh, he saw that.
Yeah, I was wearing my Jacob Black sweater to school every day.
Oh. Cora, what are you doing? She just randomly started digging very aggressively at her bed.
Oh god, that was loud.
She has the zooms. Go, Cora.
He also got to experience my One Direction-ness, so he got to experience
it all.
Yeah, I mean, when you know someone your whole life. Because I remember he signed my grade 12 yearbook. I didn't ask him to. I gave it to like the girl sitting beside him, and then he decided to like just take it and write in it.
Oh.
He's like more like the popular side, so I think he thought I wanted him to.
Oh, yeah.
Did not ask you, sir, but I was like, I'll always remember how hard you repped One Direction, and I was like, you know what? If this is the legacy that I leave behind, I'm perfectly okay with that. Like, I've done my duty in life. So he ended up becoming like a Harry Styles wannabe because he's like a musician. And,
oh yeah, you told me about him. Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. It's just like awkward, but yeah. Anyways, what was the last thing we said about this book?
I don't even know.
Me either. Characters. Are you gonna read the American Women Experiment?
I feel like since you said it's about Rosie, I feel like I will, because I really liked her and I wish she had more like page time in this book. Obviously it makes sense why she wasn't, but I liked her character. My favorite scene with her though was when they were going to get food, and then Catalina was just like, "Oh, I'll just go to the salad place." She's like, "No, we're going to this other place." She's like, "I don't care if you're supposed to be dieting, like you need actual food."
I didn't like that plot line.
Oh, you didn't?
Like, oh, I need no, like the dieting part of it. If we're like always being on a diet and like,
not like that.
I was like, this feels unnecessary. Like,
yeah, I did not like that.
Yeah. Anyways, do you want me to read you the description?
Yes.
Of this one? Okay. Sometimes love just needs a little inspiration. Also, I should probably not hold those Spanish letters while I'm reading this one. Rosie Graham has a problem. A few, actually. She just quit her well-paid job. She quit the job.
Oh. Okay. Wait, but she got promoted, though. She was, like, up there.
Oh, wow. Okay, T.
The T!
To focus on her secret career as a romance writer, only to enter a creative slump. Not gonna lie, I didn't even read the rest of the description while I was in the store. I was like, romance writer, you're coming home with me. Although I have heard this description before, but like, yeah. Then the ceiling of her New York apartment literally crumbles on her. She heads up to her best friend Lena's empty apartment. I didn't realize she was in Lena's apartment.
Oh
wow! Does she do the dirty in Lena's apartment? That's
imagine.
I need to put the computer in. Okay. Not knowing that Lena has already lent the studio to her cousin Lucas. Wait, did we meet Lucas?
I think he was mentioned.
Oh,
I don't know.
Rosie was obsessed with him, wasn't she? Because it says who Rosie has been stalking.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all coming together. Who Rosie has been stalking, for lack of a better word, on Instagram. To Rosie's surprise, Lucas offers to let her stay with him, at least until she can find some affordable temporary housing. Soon, Rosie discovers that Lucas is intent on coming to her rescue like a Spanish knight in shining armor. Only this one strolls around the place in a towel, has a distracting grin, an irresistible accent, and comes with a set of mad cooking skills.
Ooh, cooking
Fair enough. And when Lucas learns of Rosie's writer's block, he proposes an outrageous idea to bring back her literary muse and meet her deadline. He'll take her on a series of experimental dates meant to jumpstart her romantic inspiration. Rosie has nothing to lose. Her silly online crush is totally under control, but Lucas's stay in New York has an expiration date, and 6 weeks may not be enough time for either her or her deadline.
Ooh.
I just realized I caught this stuff. This sounds like everything that I love. Like, book about a writer on like experimental dates. I think I actually might like this one more, which is shocking because it's not fake dating. But it kind of is.
It kind of is.
Experimental dates, fake dates, you know. The vibe. It's kind of like in the Charm Offensive where they go on practice dates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. And Christina Lauren says, a frothy, playful delight. In her slam dunk follow-up to the Spanish love deception, Armas gives us the sunshine honey. Okay. That was just unexpected. Okay. Lucas Martin and Strong of Old.
It was just the face you made after you read that. You're like, wait.
Oh my god. Anyways, it talks about forced proximity. I'm excited. Okay. I'm fine. You know, is it really a Besties and Books live show if we don't just burst into uncontrollable giggles at least once?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Just the best. Right. Yes.
I missed the dark part. Yeah.
Yeah. Weird. Like the first time it was mentioned, I was like, I'm
like, considering this wasn't published like a million years ago, I'm like, that just feels like something that would have come out like a 2014 book.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like it. I like actually like physically cringed every time.
Me too.
Because I'm like, why is this what we're deciding to write about? You know, because yeah, I feel like I'm gonna love him.
I'm excited for that one.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll read this soon. I don't know. I'm trying to like plan out my February TBR, and tell me why. my February TBR is always so ambitious, considering it's the shortest month of the year.
Shortest month, yeah.
I mean, we're getting an extra day this year. Love that for us.
Okay.
But like, why? Also, can we just appreciate her outfit on this cover?
Oh, stunning.
Adorable. Also, he looks very cute. I mean, neither of them have faces, but you know what I mean. Just look cute.
I get the groove.
Yeah. Anyways, our January book. We're already 12 days into January. But it's Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas. I can't believe that you're going to be reading this before Cemetery Boys. I just realized that before we got on the live. Maybe this will be the push that you need to read the Cemetery Boys.
Yeah, because I have started it. I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't continue because I really enjoyed what I read.
Yeah, I can't remember if Peyton ever got to Cemetery Boys, but she started also with Lost in the Neverwoods.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm very excited.
I'll also be reading it through audiobook because that's the only thing I
that
have,
could be kind of fun, actually. I have
Yeah,
a signed book plate in mine. Look how cool that is.
Oh, and it says to Brittany. I love that.
I know, and it was the pre-order campaign for this book. It also came with art, and it also came with the Cemetery Boys book plate because I think he had extra.
That's so cute.
I love that. But yeah, this one's like a loose kind of Peter Pan retelling, and I feel like it's the perfect winter vibes. And it also snowed here yesterday, -10 degrees. I feel like this is the perfect time to read this book. Very excited. Because I've been needing to get to this book for a very long time. It's been on too many TBRs. Like yearly TBRs. Like, this is ridiculous. When did this book come out?
I feel like it was a while ago.
2021. Yeah. I've got a first edition because I pre-ordered it like crazy. Do you want to know what the dedication of this book is?
Yes, please.
I saw it right before you joined to do the live show. And if you had joined on that moment, you would have just seen my jaw hit the floor. For every heavy heart that had to grow up too fast.
Oh.
Like, why?
Wow. I've been impressed with that one.
Wait, this is perfect. This has chapter titles, and in my book bingo, in my reading journal, I have a square for book with chapter titles.
I had
no idea what I was going to do for that, because I didn't know what book had chapter titles.
Oh, perfect.
Amazing. So unless there's another one that I feel like needs this to be filled in, I'm going to do that one for chapter titles. How exciting. How exciting.
Ooh.
Oh, yes, I
was.
With a Little Luck, it's a spin-off of, or like companion to Instant Karma, which I think is weird because like they're not really marketing it that way.
Oh.
Like I think she mentioned it when she first announced it, and then it is like, I think put as like for, I think it's for Tuna Luck #2 or for Tuna #2 or whatever on Goodreads. But like, I feel like she just hasn't mentioned that it's like the sequel kind of to Instant Karma. Because like, even Lorena was like, she loves Marissa Meyer. She's like, so what's this new book that she's like marketing right now? I'm like, girl, I know, it's confusing. Oh, right, okay, so it's not even a part of the series, but like it is connected because it's about the main character's brother. So it's like, it's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, maybe
I wonder why they're doing it like that.
Maybe Instant Karma just didn't sell well enough for her to like want to like connect it to that. I have no idea.
Maybe.
Oh, yes, it is. It wasn't always. Okay. No, it's just lying left and right. Okay. It's been revealed. Did you see that it was revealed? Like it's not even teased anymore. It's like she showed the full print. But it's coming with a print of all of the male love interests from her books. And yes, I just looked. So I don't know if I'm gonna get it. Because I already have 2 huge Marissa Meyer art prints, and like, let me see if I can pan my computer up enough so you can see them.
You guys can hear a dog barking.
I totally can. So I've got them both framed on my wall, and they're like huge. And I have so many art prints, and my little face just peeking out. And it's my plan in the new house to have like a whole like bookish art print wall. And I need to like start being selective about how many Marissa Meyer prints are going on there, and like how many. Like, because I need to make sure I'm like representing. Yeah, but like I need to make sure I'm representing all my favorite books. Like I don't have like any for Wonder. I'm like, that's a crime. I don't have anything for I don't even know. Like there's a ton of books that I'm missing like art print for, and like I even have a Renegades little like one of those like holographic ones that like change depending how you're looking at it. I got that from a book signing, So like I even have that if I decide to put that on my wall. So like it's just a lot.
I was so sad I didn't get one of those when I went to the book signing. I'm sad.
Yeah, I miss book signings coming here. Nobody's coming here anymore, and it hurts my soul. I saw a post today, and I see these often that talk about like concerts, and like you take that moment when you're at a concert to just like look around and just be so happy because like these are my people. This is where I belong. Like I'm so happy right now, and like that is me. But that's also me at book signings, just being like completely surrounded
so good.
by book lovers. It's my favorite thing in the world. So I'm depressed. COVID ruined my life. Okay. See, I want to get it, but I'm also like not in a huge rush for this book at this moment. Even though like I put like specifically packed Instant Karma so that I could reread it. And I love that book, but I also feel like the magic in it was just completely unnecessary. Which is why I'm nervous for this one because it follows the same kind of formula. So I don't know.
I don't really remember my thoughts on Instant Karma.
I was not into it until about halfway through. Like once the romance really started going, then I was just obsessed with it because I loved the romance. But the karma thing totally could have and should have been cut. Obviously, didn't like it would have been like a completely different like book, like change the title, change everything. But yeah, oh, absolutely. Like I'm with you, girl. I'm with you. I don't know. I don't know.
Marissa Meyer is mother. Love her.
Yeah. It's funny because the other day I was like thinking about this book and like I didn't know if I wanted to pre-order it or not. And I was like, I'm gonna wait until she does a pre-order campaign. And I was looking at her Instagram, I'm like, she has nothing on here about a pre-order campaign. I'm like, I feel like normally it'd be like announced already. And I love her because her publisher always handles it, and so it's always to US and Canada, which I greatly appreciate. Because usually if like a book comes with like anything more than like something you can stick inside of like a paper envelope, like a book plate or something like that, it never comes here. Like it's like a physical item because like she's done pins before. She did a pin for Instant Karma, and those I always get, and I'm like, I just appreciate I appreciate that, Macmillan. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's very big. It looks like it's like more of like a horizontal, like I don't know. I'm torn. Like I do love all the boys, and like there is like her poster for the last one was just all of the girls. Is it that one? Yeah, it's that one. Was all of the girls. It's like I love that, but I don't know. I need to be financially responsible. I keep spending money like I have a job, and it's a problem.
I've been having the itch to reread the Lunar Chronicles already, even though it's only been like a year.
Do you know how sad I am that I don't have a single Lunar Chronicles book on my bookshelf right now?
So sad. I don't have mine either.
Like I would have brought them if I hadn't just reread them, but I really needed to save space. So the only Marissa Meyer books I have are my paperback of Heartless because I want to annotate it, and Instant Karma. Those are the only ones I've got.
Oh, I still need to read Heartless.
Dude, I am not coping well. I'm not coping. Like, too many times I stare at my bookshelves and there's two reactions I have. One where I cry because I just love books so much, and this happened to me recently. I was just like, I was actually tearing up, no jokes, like not exaggerating. I was like, fuck, I love books so much.
Those are just so good.
They are. And the other reaction is, oh my god, like what do you mean? What do you mean I don't have the Lunar Chronicles? What do you mean I don't have Stalking Jack the Ripper? What do you mean I don't have Renegades? What do you mean I don't have a single Cassandra Clare book on my shelf?
Oh, that's a crime.
But like you don't know how sad it was for me to film my favorite books of the year and not have Chain of Thorns to hold up. Tragic. It's like, what? Yeah. What do you mean? Like I had to be so selective, and like this is even more books than I initially thought I would have. Because initially I thought I was only going to have this middle tiny bookcase. Like that's the top shelf. Like that's it. But then I was able to convince my dad and my uncle to bring two of my skinny bookcases up.
Thankfully, you were able to.
Yeah, because originally it was just gonna be like one of the big ones, but they literally could not get it up the stairs. So like, I'm like, okay, can I get two of the skinny ones then? Because it's the same amount. I'm like, I already packed all my books. Like, I got too many books to fit on this little shelf. I need something else. Like, I'm gonna go insane. So
I only have like probably 10 books.
Oh yeah, that's depressing. We're both in bad spots right now.
I miss my book children.
Yeah, there were some that I was like, I don't know if I'm going to reread these in the next year, but I physically, at this moment, don't think I can part with them. And that was the Soul Screamer series, because I'm a child, and like, that's my guilty pleasure. The Dark Vault, so the archive, I had to bring that with me. all my romance. Like, it was not my intention to bring all my romances, and then I was filming my packing my books video, and I just like blacked out, and somehow they were all in the box to like take over. I was like, oh, I did not mean for this to happen. I didn't even take them all, but like I took most of them, and I was like, this was not my intention. Yeah. I don't have like any Morgan Matson. I just have her release that came out last year, which we'd already moved at that point. I only have my paperback of Love, Simon, so I don't have any other Becky Albertalli. Oh, geez. I hate it so much. I also brought all of Emily and Austin's books as well, because I also, even though I had just read them, I'm like, I cannot be without these. I'm too emotionally attached at the moment. It's crazy. Okay.
Oh, have a lovely dinner, Lisa. We love you so much.
I love you.
Yes, we had very good discussions.
Yes, we definitely talked about the book. We were on top of the entire time. Okay, love you. Have a nice dinner. We will see you next time. Okay. I also feel like we should just end this live show because we are not talking about anything that we should be talking about. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining with us for this live show. We are reading. Oh God, she always does this.
Yeah.
Hi, Ellie. We love you.
Hi. We barely talked about the book. Don't worry.
And we're good. We've completely moved on. We're just talking about my books and how I miss all of my books.
Bookshelves. Yeah.
Hello. But we are reading Lost in the Neverwoods by Aidan Thomas this month in January. We are so excited about it. It is a loose kind of Peter Pan retelling, reimagining. I'm very, very excited for this book. Winter, whimsical. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I also feel like I'm in like that fairy tale kind of mood because I'm listening to the Once Upon a Broken Heart series right now in audio. And that's all about like fairy tales and stuff like that. So
I love fairy tales. Oh, off topic, but did you see she has a new Caraval book coming? Or it's like a novella?
It's like Spectacular or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be a physical book or is it just like a...
I'm not sure actually.
Because I hate when they're just like ebooks. I don't like reading ebooks.
Yeah.
Although I did read This Winter by Alice Oseman as an ebook on Christmas. Like I literally just had it on my phone. I was just reading it while my family's like eating their like snacks. I'm like, Christmas. I must read this little Christmas novella. And actually, like it said, it was like over 100 something pages, but it wasn't even that long because like the last bit of it was like a sneak peek for Solitaire, and so I was like, oh, like I don't need to read this. So like,
yeah,
amazing. Like I'm already done. You know what? Again, would it be a Besties and Books live show if we didn't get extremely off topic?
No,
like I would say 40. I would say 40 to like. No, I'd say about 40 minutes with us just not talking about the book.
Yeah, I feel like we talked for the book for at least like 15 to 20 minutes out of this whole live show.
Yeah. Anyways, we love you all. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.